Welcome back to Autism Live, this very special episode. I've got here with me Matt Asner from the Autism Society of America, and we are here live in the studio with Robia Rashid. She is the creative genius behind Atypical, and we've been talking with her a little. I said it, I meant it. Creative genius behind Atypical. I'm going to say it again. We'll put it in print. In any case, we've been talking a little bit about this amazing show. We want you guys to watch it if you haven't already. It's on Netflix, the entire first season, and we've shared the good news that there will be a season 2, and we're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. But there's been a fair amount of controversy that has come along with this show. I think anytime you do something brilliant, you're going to have people who are going to chime in and say things. You've gotten some criticism. I know after we went and saw it, I posted something and said, this is fabulous, people need to watch it. And people were writing me back saying, oh, I'm so glad to hear that from you, because I've heard from other members of the autism community that they're not supporting. I think that all kind of got a little misconstrued.
Very much so.
Yeah. So we thought we'd talk about it a little bit, maybe shed some light on it. What was it like for you, and what did you take away from it?
I'll say that the frustrating part, because I really respect people's opinions, and there's so many people out there. This is released worldwide, so in 150 countries. So there's just going to be a lot of difference of opinion, and I totally respect that. The frustrating thing for me was people who reviewed it before they watched it, which I was really surprised there were so many people who were doing that based on just the idea or the trailer or whatever. And I think that's like in our new social media obsessed world, people are very hungry to give their opinions on things.
Quick to jump.
But I think that we got a sort of a wave of protectors and people who loved the show once it came out. Once more people got to see it.
Well, yeah, and I think that happens now. I think
I do too.
I think that the people who really like the show really create that kind of groundswell of social support, and really kind of start protecting you.
Yeah. It's been nice to see, and like I said, look, I totally understand that there will be people who, this isn't their cup of tea, but I would hope that people give it a chance and watch it at least.
At least watch it to see before you form an opinion. But there were sort of some different levels. One of the things that drove me the craziest about criticism was when
I get my turn.
Okay, we can tag team, because I got several things that drove me crazy.
One, I don't know.
Could be. But the first thing that drove me crazy, because I used to teach college theater, and like the 101 theater class where you had to write a review of something, and the first rule of writing a review is you have to review what you saw, not what you thought you wanted it to be.
Yes.
So if you go to see Romeo and Juliet and you say, well, I really wanted it to be a musical where they drowned rats, it's not a fair criticism, right?
Now I want to see that Romeo and Juliet.
Right. But so for people who, I appreciate when you're giving an opinion and saying, well, I really wish that it had been, what I saw a lot, people were like, well, I wish it had been about a girl. I really wish that the main character had been a girl with autism, or I wish that it had been not a high-functioning person with autism, right? And I appreciate people saying, what you're saying is, here are some stories I want to hear some other time, but that's not a fair criticism of Atypical.
Right, because let's face it, it's one story of someone with autism. It's not, this kind of massive picture. It's not a Dorian Gray kind of look of everything that's that's going on.
And our community says if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism, but somehow they wanted for your show to encompass every single person with autism, which doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Well, I mean, I get that on a certain level, because
of course,
we all want to see our own story up there.
Of course.
And if we don't see our story up there, we feel a proprietary relationship with whatever we watch. Then maybe you feel weird. But I'll say that it's one story. It's one story.
Yeah, and it also seems like more of a criticism of entertainment in general, that those stories haven't been told, that it's so rare 100%. To get stories like this. I don't disagree with that,
me neither.
But it's just one specific kid, and now that we have another season, maybe we do introduce more characters. But
give it time.
Yes.
Give it time.
Be patient with us. But yes, I appreciate that. It's the story of one guy. and one family.
Who happens to be high functioning and on the spectrum.
Exactly.
And this is the story that you decided to tell.
Exactly.
Now go.
Okay.
Now you get a turn.
So I get my turn. All right. So to me, the one thing that kind of stuck in my craw a little bit was something, because I used to be a producer.
Yeah.
And I've been through casting sessions, and I've been through that, and it's very difficult to cast a part. Very difficult. You know that.
I know what you're going to say.
And I think you cast an incredible actor for Sam, for all of them, but for Sam. We're talking about Sam. Keir is amazing. He's layered. He connects with that part, and I can see why you would make that choice. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of the criticism I heard is why, and this is it was blistering criticism. What I heard, why couldn't you hire someone with autism to play that part? Now, to be fair to you, you did see people with autism. You saw a couple, I think, of people with autism that came in, mm-hmm. and actually, one of the people with autism that you saw, Anthony Hawkes, you actually hired because you liked him so much to play the part of his friend Chris, I believe, right?
I wrote the role for Anthony.
Right.
After I saw his audition, I didn't think he was right for Sam, but I loved him, so I created a part.
Kudos to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And for me, now there's a that's one argument, mm-hmm. and I'll say this. I'll say, it upsets me to see the autism community saying, why can't you hire someone with autism to play that part? Because it's an actor playing a part, and the best person will play that part. And what I believe we should be upset about and getting mad about is not that. It's about, why can't more autistic actors go up for these parts and read for these parts? And I'm not saying that you didn't read them. You did read them.
Yeah.
But in Hollywood, it's more of a bigger picture of Hollywood.
No, I agree.
Is why can't we hire more autistic actors to play parts? Not just autistic parts, but parts. That's what we should be fighting for. We should be fighting for an autistic actor playing, the part of Johnny, who, is the next door neighbor.
Right.
I mean, that's what we should be fighting for.
Yeah.
It's not, that an autistic actor should be playing a part of an autistic character. I just don't see how that is a valid and healthy argument. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to get us anywhere. And I think the real argument should be, we should be, these actors should be getting more opportunity in Hollywood.
Yes, I agree with that.
And once again, I congratulate you, and I thank you for creating the part for Anthony, because I think he did a great job, and I'm sure we'll see more of him.
You will.
And coming in season 2, and so that was something that when I read that, I thought, we're missing something here.
Yes. Yeah, no, it was really important to me to audition both neurotypical actors and actors on the spectrum, and it was a long process. I mean, Netflix is different partly because you don't shoot a pilot and then get picked up to series. You get picked up to series all at once. Mm-hmm. So we were writing the show while we were casting the show. So it was a really intense process, and we were very, very thorough with Sam, because it is a grueling role. It's just a really, really hard role, and we wanted to get it right, and it's a huge part of the show. And Keir came in, I think, 5 times to audition. He came in an insane amount of times. All of the actors did. And
that's what happens when you hire someone to play a lead in a series. In a series,
yeah. And it's a hard series because it's comedy and drama, and you have to be emotional and funny, and it's a demanding role.
Yeah.
And Keir just knocked it out of the park. He just impressed us so much. But because we were auditioning neurotypical actors and actors on the spectrum, we didn't want to just go with him right away. We wanted to make sure that this was right. And then we also had Jennifer as the mom, and she is so subtle and lovely, and it is an ensemble show that Keir's subtlety just fit. That it feels like a family. This group of actors really feel like a family, and I just think he's doing a really, really wonderful job.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm in complete agreement. The thing that I said afterwards was, let's be very careful, because if you say that only an actor who's on the spectrum can play somebody who's on the spectrum, then the reverse is true, that a person who's on the spectrum can't play somebody who's not on the spectrum.
And that's not what
we're never doing that. And then suddenly it's, well, only an autism mom can play an autism mom, and that's not going to work. And where do you draw the line? It doesn't work that way. We have a long-standing tradition of people audition and the right person for the role gets it, but I agree with you, we have to make more opportunities for actors who are on the spectrum to get roles.
Completely agree. We have the best casting agency ever, and they had
give them a plug.
It was a hard time. Telsey and Company.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. But it was hard to find actors on the spectrum to audition. We really had to dig, and Anthony, who we found, didn't have much experience. He hadn't really acted before. He did drama in high school. I don't know if you read the article, the essay
we had
that his
Anthony
mom
on
wrote.
the show.
You
had
did?
Anthony on the show, and he was delightful.
Awesome.
He
He's
had such a
so
good time.
wonderful.
His mom wrote a blog for us for Autism Society, and Netflix put it up, Atypical put it up, and we put it up, and she wrote this incredible story about how he wanted to become an actor, and, and he did it.
Yes,
he did it. He did it on his first role is on a Netflix series. It's amazing.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
But I think what's great is that the conversation, even as it was, has already changed things.
Yeah.
We are already seeing how things have changed as a result.
That's really
and
cool.
I'm very excited about that because this show has a huge legacy, what it's done.
Oh, that's awesome.
And things have already changed. More on that in another date.
Okay.
But because I have secrets that I cannot tell.
Ooh. Really?
Yes, I do. I have secrets. But in any case, other criticism that you got, because we want to talk about things. I talked a little bit before about the autism moms going, well, that's not how I would do it. And there were autism moms who were fatutzed about some of the things that happened with the autism mom. But as I said before, it opened a conversation amongst autism moms where we got more real than we have gotten in the past. And I think that's a gift to us. So I think that's a lovely thing.
So are you talking about the decisions she made as a mom, or?
Well, some of it was about the decisions she made as a mom. Some of it was about the decisions that she made. Look, everybody got a little bit protective and said, well, if this is going to be out there and be all over the world, then we want to send the right message, right? And so people were saying that about Sam. Well, I don't want to send the message that people with autism do this. And there were moms who were saying, I don't want to send the message that autism moms might do this. And everybody had to take a little step back and go, this is one person's story.
Right.
And if we don't take ownership that this is all autism moms, then it won't be that. People aren't going to look at this and go, this is all autism moms.
But see, I think that this is a family. It's a mom.
Yes.
It's a dad.
First and foremost, it's a mom.
It's a boy and it's a girl.
That's exactly right.
And that's what it is. And autism is a component of it.
Yes.
But it's a family, and these people are individuals, and they make wrong choices, and they make right choices.
Yes.
And that's the great thing about the show, is you're very real about presenting that, I think, to your audience. And to me, that's what makes it really work.
And marriage is hard, and parenthood is hard, and
Yes.
it's stressful. And I don't know that taking the teeth out of something and kind of smoothing the edges down is going to make for
I agree.
A poignant show.
And what's lovely is that people they had emotions about it and then communicated them, and then conversations were had. Sometimes very publicly on Facebook, of course, and sometimes they were very quiet in other, in therapy, waiting rooms. But conversations were had, and I think that's amazing. So one of the other conversations that one of the criticisms was that while you had consultants working with you on this, that there were a lot of people who were saying, we want, in season 2, a consultant who is on the spectrum. For 2 reasons. One, because they were citing that nothing about us without us, and that it's important to be paid, and that they felt that it would make it that much. Now, I know you did so much research. But how do you feel about that? How do you feel about those folks in the spectrum saying nothing about us without us, and you got to pay somebody? Because that's an important part of it, don't you think, Matt? That part of their rally cry is that you got to pay them.
Yeah, I mean, let me just say, yes, I understand what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying, but I don't think, I don't think it was visible in what the
Oh, and by the way, it's not me saying that. I'm saying what the criticism was.
Right.
I know, and I can see, and I heard some of the research that you did. So I don't think it was visible in the show at all.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
But I understand that some of it, from their point of view, is just it's an opportunity for a job.
Yes.
And jobs are few and far between.
I totally understand that.
So, but.
It's
How
such an interesting, I'm not against it at all. It's such an interesting conversation topic right now, and it feels like for so many shows and in so many ways, it's kind of a hot topic at this point. Like, as a writer, can I only write my exact life experience? As an actor, can I only act my exact life experience? Does the actor who plays Sam have to be autistic? Like, it's a really hot issue right now. I think we did a pretty good job depicting autism in the show, and I think it was pretty layered and pretty versatile, and there were a lot of little touches, and we really cared about that. We're always asking us, what can we do on this show that you can't do on another show? What's specific about this world that we can do? But we always want to do it better, and we always want to keep doing it, and it gets harder and harder as you keep going. And so I'm totally open to it. I don't know what that role would be exactly, but I think it's a valid argument too. I think the payment thing is a valid argument. I do have a very strong intention to hire more autistic actors. I have an idea about that I'm excited about. So it's on my list of things to really work on this season, but I don't feel like it affected us in a negative way. And we you guys know, we had Anthony, who's an autistic actor, but we also had crew members who had kids on the spectrum. We had one woman who left her last job and came to work on our show because she loved the idea so much. And so we were constantly getting feedback just from I know it's a really warm crew, it's a really warm group, everybody's really close and loves each other. So we would just have people, it wasn't the kind of thing where people didn't feel like they could speak up. We'd have people come up and be like, I got you this pin that she can wear, and or just, people just kind of contributing in their own way. And I said this to somebody, I don't remember who. There was one woman who her son has autism, and every time she cried at a scene, I knew that we were nailing it. She did it quite a lot. I was like, yes.
Well, I just love that it provoked such strong emotions, and I certainly was somebody that I don't want to give things away, but there was one scene where Doug goes back to the support group that he hasn't been for a while.
One of my favorites. And
I always say that I've not yet met an autism parent that I don't love. I don't necessarily like them all, but I love them all. But there was one mom that I wanted to wring her neck, and I started to feel like I don't want her representing me, and then I was like, calm down, she doesn't, you know what I mean? But I had that thing going on because I so disliked that she was turning to an autism dad and telling him what words to use about his child.
I know.
Where did she get off? Don't even get me started. But it got that kind of emotional, and I think that's when you've done something right. Sorry, I'm going to go
Thank you.
For those of you at home who haven't seen it, I don't want to ruin it, so I'm not going to really talk about it.
Okay.
But there's a moment where they do a dance very differently to accommodate for Sam and other people.
Yeah.
And it's wonderfully done. And
Thank
where did you come up with that? Because I thought that was really a great idea.
It's a thing. It's a thing that happens. Yeah.
It's really a thing that happens.
It's really a thing.
So we can talk about it then, I guess.
Yeah. It's a silent dance.
It's a silent dance. So people have headphones, and they all listening to the same songs?
Sometimes it's all the same songs. Sometimes you have 3 different channels that you can switch around to. So, which I don't love that as much. I love the idea of everybody dancing to the same song on there. But it's a thing. It used to. Paige actually says this in the thing. It used to. It started for raves. Yeah. Really? Raves in the woods so that they wouldn't get busted by the cops.
Oh my God. I loved it. I thought it was just so visual and really beautiful.
Thank
you. It was very wonderfully inclusive and awesome, and I loved it.
We just had a great team.
I want to go to a silent dance.
No, I know it's beautiful, but I was kind of blown away by how great that looked. You know what we did? We that dance took place in Techtropolis. We did all our Techtropolis scenes, and then we struck the set because we didn't have a space big enough, and we got rid of the set and we turned it into the gym.
Well, your lighting designer is really good.
Amazing. Amazing.
That really looked, that was the bomb. It was awesome.
Absolutely beautiful.